welcome back to Cuckoo for Books. My name is Salva and today I will be doing a book review of an ARC that I received, and it is The Thousandth Floor by Katharine McGee. Guys, this might be it. This might be my favorite book of 2016. I cannot tell you how much I love this book, but I will try to in this book review. This book is set in Manhattan in the future. It's 20,118. And all of Manhattan is in a tower, which I didn't get at first. One thing that would make this book even more awesome would be the inclusion of a map. Floor 0 to the 1000th floor. It's a story about all these teens who live in the tower and how each of their lives interact with one another. They do market it as this. They do tell people that it's like Gossip Girl in future Manhattan. I was able to tweet with the author online and she said she loved Anna Godbersen novels, and there was also a hint of that. So if you're a fan of those books, you would enjoy this book. What a diverse cast. I love it. I love that the idea of the future Manhattan is just this hodgepodge of cultures. There's a lot of biracial characters in the novel, which I personally enjoyed. Like, it wasn't just like token Asian kid, token black kid. It was like a mixed melting pot of all these cultures, and I really enjoy that. And it makes sense because in the future, with all the traveling going, it makes it very realistic. Another thing I really loved was that each character's story held its own weight. There wasn't one character I favored over the other. There wasn't one character when I was like, dang it, it's this dude's character again. Skip. They were all equally entertaining, and I really loved that. And that's hard to do. That's hard to juggle all these different storylines and put them together into one big tale that makes sense. And I think that was very good. Good job, author. I really loved the futuristic Manhattan that the author built. It's not dystopian. It's not utopian. It's literally like what our world would be like in 100 years. The technology in the novel wasn't too out there. It was the kind of thing that in 100 years, that very well could be our world. I really, really loved every time the author would introduce, you know, how the contacts worked, or how games there worked, or how parties worked, and how their society worked. And I just fell in love with the world she built, and it really took you to another time and place. All aboard the spoiler train. Choo-choo! Lesson of the novel: don't do drugs, kids. It'll turn you into a villain. I was so on Leda's team at the very beginning. I was like, okay, she's back from rehab. She's gonna put her life back together, and then she starts stalking Atlas. Downward spiral. Horrible person who gets mad at her best friend. Well, Avery's not that great either. You know, and then in the end, she ends up back on the wagon, off the wagon, on the wagon, back on drugs, ends up killing one of her friends. By the way, segueing, I didn't expect Eris to be the one to die. In my mind, it was either gonna be Avery, because that was like the cliche answer, or towards the end of the novel, I was kind of thinking it would be Marielle, because in my mind there would be this thing where Eris would break up with Marielle, and then Marielle storms the party and then goes like, I can't live without you, and then jumps off. That was my bet. I never in a million years expected it to be Eris, because I feel like her arc was just like, whoosh, you know, we were getting somewhere. I would have loved to see it. I know I said all the characters were equally like thumbs up, but she was my favorite. I really hope that authors someday will be able to stop using the excuse of their adopted siblings, so it's okay for them to have incest. It's okay. It's not. It's really not. Listen to how high-pitched my voice is getting. I'm looking at you, Fallen Kingdoms, and now the 1000th floor. There's, I guess, something a little more icky about the 1000th floor because they actually did something about their relationship, and that's nasty. In my mind, there's like a marketing team at a YA publishing house saying, having them being related by blood is too much, so just make them adopted if you want to push the incest thing. And that about does it for my The 1000th Floor book review. You can follow me on my other bookish adventures on Twitter and Instagram, both at Cuckoo for Books. Please subscribe. I will see you guys next Sunday or sooner for my next video. Bye, guys!